Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA video. I'm currently diving into Bitcoin. We've seen a bit of a roll in the market today. Bitcoin's currently down around about 7%, I think it is. Now, I'm zooming out here looking at the macro scale of things. Okay, so let me just get rid of this quickly. I'm basically looking at Bitcoin here on the monthly. What we can see for previous data, many analysis to look at this, these EMAs here. Okay, so these are two simple EMAs that you can have on your charts. This is the 20 EMA, the monthly 20 EMA, and this is the red 55 EMA. Now, these are moving averages of Bitcoin and its price. Okay, and now what determines a lot of these pumps and downside is within these indicators, they show us certain signals, okay, and certain patterns, and they give confluence, right? So just by using these EMAs alone and support and resistance for Bitcoin within this past few years of trajectory, what you can see here is that the 55 on the monthly has never had a close, or never had a close. Okay, look, so you can see the closes on the monthly here were above this red 55 EMA. Okay, Bitcoin had never had a close below this 55 EMA. Up here you had a nasty wick down, but your candle closed at $6,500 back in 2020 of the corona dump. Okay, we had a nasty wick and capitulation, but we managed to close above the 55. Down here we closed above the 55. One unfortunate thing that we're seeing now is Bitcoin has closed below it, and is currently, you can see it's closed below, come up to the 55 currently. Okay, so we've come up to the 55 currently, and potentially we're getting rejected now, and we're tracing back down to the 17k. Okay, so we're looking for support on this 17k area, and that's just by giving confluence of the rejection, the close below the monthly EMA, and the rejection, at the 55. Okay, it's the first time in its history that it's fell below, and currently today is getting rejected. Okay, so potentially what I'm looking for here on the macro scale of things, only if this 17k is lost. Okay, if that 17k is lost, it might hold a support. You might come back down here for a double bottom, a higher low, okay, and start getting compression like this, and come up in an ascending triangle, get compression between this EMA and the price. Okay, this is a potential, and then where you break above, and you start to see these EMAs start to curl on each other, and start to, the price action gets drawn back up, and you attacked previous all-time highs. That's only if, okay, the 17k low holds though, okay, and you start to form some sort of bullish bottoming out structure, or you start going sideways, ranging underneath before you get a breakout to either down either side of play. But just to simplify things, okay, the 17k is lost, and you hit your head on that as resistance. My next technical target would be this level of resistance here, and these previous swing high, this close right here, and this high. Okay, because what you can see here for Bitcoin is basically a game of resistance and support. Now, from the 2017 to 18 bull run high, okay, up here with the closes and these wicks, okay, you can see that you came back down for support in a bear market, and you found support on the red 55. What happened then again is you had a bounce off that 55 back up to this resistance, and got rejected once again. So you ran into resistance 2 times here, and that's when you came back in for another larger wave down, a massive capitulation within the corona dump. Okay, you was looking to hold here, but coronavirus, a black swan event, it all came into play, and you capitulated again. But from that, you broke up, and you re-attempted to break this resistance line for a 3rd time, and actually did. And that's where you put in that impulsive 5th wave, in my opinion, for the local top here for Bitcoin, of which since we have been retracing. Okay, so what potentially is happening is you was caught under resistance broke out, hit a high, now you're coming back for support on that area, and that current trend line sits at a price of 14k. It looks roughly around 14k. So potentially if Bitcoin loses 17k, that's where it might be heading. In my opinion, this is a strong foundational level of support. Now, Bitcoin has never actually retraced back to previous all-time highs until this correction here. Now, one thing that shows us also that the high of 2017 bull run, is holding currently, is because you can see right here, okay, where you've come up, and currently this is what we're holding as support right now. Okay, that is where we've closed on that. Okay, we closed on it. We didn't close below, we just closed on that price, the previous bull run high. Okay, but you're getting rejected now, and you're basically getting a squeeze here, okay, between this support, between the 2017 to 18 bull run high. You're getting squeezed between that and the 55, okay, and you're struggling, okay, we're struggling, you know, and the more you hit your head on resistance, okay, the more likely you're going to start losing support, in my opinion, and that's when the 17k will get tested. If that is then lost, then my opinion is you're coming back down to this swing high and this close here at 14k. So that's just zooming out on the macro scale of things, looking at support, resistance, and EMAs potentially, you know, because it's not good to see yourself come up to the EMA, get rejected, you know, and if you come back down and start losing this low on the larger time frames, you know, it is indicating that you're looking for more downside here for Bitcoin. So within saying that, okay, just looking at this a potential play here, you know, and just going off what I can see here on the charts, what this would indicate to me is sort of a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then a wave 5 down to that level of support there for Bitcoin. And potentially have some sort of Elliott wave where then you then have, you know, an ABC back up to resistance, you come back, and then you start tackling out again and working your way back. You might have some sort of horizontal triangle here, or you know, some bottoming out structure, like an inverse head and shoulders or something like that. You know, there's plays moving forward, but this potentially is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave theory correction. It's similar to something like you saw here. Potentially you had a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then a wave 5. In some sort of theory anyway, but in these past bear markets, okay, we had similar structures right here, okay, that basically played out. We haven't seen that sort of structure yet, okay, for Bitcoin. So this is a top pattern, in my opinion. This is a descending triangle, lose support, go short. You met the target of that technical triangle, came up, came back into a bull flag, nasty wick down, broke out, and right now, okay, we're in a corrective phase of a bull market, in my opinion, still, and looking to find support somewhere before we get another leg up for Bitcoin. So yeah, that's my thought on the macro scale of things. Diving into the daily time frame. What you can see here for Bitcoin right now is potentially we've fallen back. Where are we? You know, I think I was looking at a support around this sort of area here, back on this was resistance point. Okay, came back down, had a nasty wick, but this was an area of support still, and potentially this trend line still could act as a support. If we close above this trend line here today for Bitcoin, which is roughly a price of around 21.5k, I don't think I'll be too worried. But one thing that you can see here is a potential huge sort of rising wedge for Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, where you was being squeezed up. Basically, he was being squeezed up into a corner. Okay, so he was tightening out, and then normally what happens is you start to retrace back down to where you started to form the wedge. So potentially what Bitcoin could be doing here, you know, many people fit these triangles in different ways, but in my opinion, what you're doing is retracing back down to this low. Okay, you're retracing back down to this low, and what we can see here, if we get a fib on quickly, okay, from this high back down to the 17k low, which we're retracing to, you can see what Bitcoin is trying to do here is find support either on the 050 or the 0618. Okay, these are sort of the areas that you find support, the golden ratios areas and things like that. And basically you can see that Bitcoin has come down, it's lost the 21.9k, the 382, and is looking for a bounce on 21k right now, in my opinion. And at that point, you know, it could start to come up, and then if it does roll again, your next area of support is $20,200. Okay, and I'd like those to hold, because say for example, if Bitcoin did do something like that, okay, if it did do something like that, what you could see here is it could be forming some huge sort of ascending triangle. If it came down and held support on that and started to come up again, it would be some sort of huge ascending triangle, an actual bottoming out structure that you could be forming before a breakout occurs. Okay, and you'd essentially be having a low here and another low here, so a higher low, a series of higher lows, a level of resistance. Okay, and then once you break above, you'll have a technical target to the upside, which would, in my opinion, bring you back up to 32k. Okay, but that's all a big if. It doesn't have to do that. If it does come down and start to lose, if Bitcoin does start to lose 20k, okay, if it does start to lose 20k, it could be very, very negative here, you know. And if you start, say if you did something like this, you came down to the 618, came up to the 050 or 382, got rejected, and, you know, started losing it. If you start losing these lows here, you know, and this 17k especially, it's looking very negative here. And what you will see is that from this retracement, the 1618 would be the target I'd be looking for, and that sits at that 14k, okay, of which I said on the monthly time frame, that 14k, okay, ties up exactly, if we get this lined up here, okay, this 14k ties up exactly with this fib target at the 1618, okay, from this retracement that we're currently going through with the 17k low, 14k sits at that point. So that's just to give some confidence on the smaller time frames and within fibs on the daily with these last 2-3 months, you know, and the retracement to the 17k low, the 1618 target sits bang on previous resistance that Bitcoin had to break above. So that gives to me, that's a key area, okay, just from support, resistance, Fibonacci, it's a key area of support. Again, I want to see if anything else gives some confidence here. So to this high, okay, to this low, okay, this is another target that's potentially in mine right now. You can see that this again is on the monthly time frame, guys. Okay, look, you're coming down, you've come down to the just shy of the 1618 is 16k. Okay, and you're coming up now and potentially being rejected by the 1272 at 22,500 and the monthly 55. So again, this sort of area here is just, you know, the 16 to 14k, 13k is an area that I'm looking at here for Bitcoin moving forward if we continue to see rejection off this monthly time frame and the 17k loss is applied if we lose 17k. So that's just a quick outlook on Bitcoin, guys. Again, as I said, the 14 to 16k area mark to me is just an area where I think Bitcoin may seem to find something there and actually hold support, as it hasn't tested those areas. Okay, it hasn't tested that area, break out, you know, form a top pattern, lose support, go short down to that area of previous resistance, okay, and start to hold and form bottoming out structure before the next leg up. That's what's going to happen in my opinion, guys. But yeah, anyways, that's a quick update for you on Bitcoin. I hope you enjoyed. Support, resistance, that's what it's a game of. You know, try and keep things simple in your charts, watching these EMAs. You can see that again on the monthly time frame, if you start to come down here like this and this holds, you're going to come into some sort of EMA squeeze. If we get up and caught in between that, you know, and form this ascending triangle and hold the 17k, very bullish, and I think you could get a breakout to the upside. Okay, so just holding the 17k, holding that low, putting in a higher low, that's the bullish scenario. Form some bottoming out structure, ascending triangle, whatever it may be, okay, and then just break out, and that would be lovely to see. But if not, okay, if we do sort of get rejected at this monthly 50, lose the 17k, hit your head on it, my next target, as I've said, is the 14k area, of which I would expect Bitcoin to have strong support on, as it was multiple contacts of resistance in previous years. So yeah, that's a quick update, guys. I hope you enjoyed. From ChartNerd TA, peace out.